just so nobody feels shortchanged, it is going to be about this pace for the next 10 minutes. In about 2 minutes, you are going to wish that was a joke. It can be dead and you don't get any reaction from anybody, and it's a little bit like talking to a brick wall, only worse, because brick walls don't have eyes and judge you, which bad crowds do.
I was actually trying to get fit to make me more sexy, and I went to this hotel and had a gym and a swimming pool, and I said to myself, I'm going to do 100 strokes a day, which is difficult for me because I usually ejaculate after 5.
When it goes well, it's good fun, kind of bantering with the audience as well, and also you get to tell them a lot about yourself, so basically telling your whole life story as well, and people are actually listening for once.
I feel really sorry for my parents, to be honest, because my brother's a priest, which nowadays is pronounced paedophile.
I enjoy live comedy for the reasons of going out and just like seeing acts that you wouldn't, normally see. There's so many diverse performers and different kinds of acts that you see in places like this. Like Larry, for example, here wouldn't get exposure on television, but that's not down to his content material, it's just down to the overall quality.
Mother's Day was a couple of days ago. Anyone here a mother? It's Manchester, it must be at least 12.
I'd always been interested in comedy and fancied giving it a go, and went to a couple of nights and seen some truly, truly awful comics and thought I could do better than that.
I've got a friend that goes out with a younger lass, right? He's my age, 27, and he's going out with a girl that's 17. It's a bit odd, isn't it? That he's nearly a paedophile, basically. The odd thing though, he calls her the Scottish pound note, because people look at him a bit funny when he takes her into shops, but she is legal tender.
I think I've always been keen on getting into stand-up, but never really knew where to go, and how to get into it. But I was in Newcastle a couple of years ago and went to an open mic night sort of really regularly. I had a look at it and thought, you know what, there's a lot of things on there that I think, well, yeah, I probably can give it a go. You see that much awful comedy, you think, oh, come on, I'm going to have to be better than that, surely.
How long have you been together?
About 4 years.
About 4 years, that was good, man. That's a round of applause for 4 years, that's all right, okay? I do like the fact as well that you pulled the face that all men pull. How long have you been together? Oh, fuck.
Sometimes it's hard doing stand-up comedy when you have to come all the way to Manchester to do a gig in essentially a warehouse to about 5 people who don't really give a shit. That's a bit difficult.
One thing I don't like is when the audience don't want to actually hear anything dirty at all, and which pretty much means I'm fucked.
I was on the phone to my brother the other day, and my brother said to me that my sister's now become interested in sex, which is a good thing, because for him, he usually just lies there and cries. Oh, the paedophile stuff I don't like. Alright, fair enough.
I mean, I had a brief go at it about 10 years ago, and there were hardly any gigs around to do, so it's a lot better now. The only danger is there's a lot of nights aimed at open micers, new people, and audiences' expectations are a bit low, so...
So I went to the doctor, I said, I've got deja vu. He said, don't start that shit again.
But I mean, there's a lot of nights which test your resolve. Travelling 4 hours, to a bunch of people who don't give a toss. It's it takes it out of you. But on the other hand, you've got nights where you take the roof off, so it's good.
So I went to the doctor, I said, I've got deja vu. I've done that.
I just like driving on my own for hours and hours. I'm not very good company anyway, so when I've only got myself for company, that's really, really rubbish. Life on the road is awful. You have this dream of it being really glamorous and kind of listening to any music you want on the way to gigs and eating any food you want, and then you soon realise that you've got an awful taste in music, and if you eat any food you want, you turn out really fat.
I don't enjoy any of it. It's all pretty rubbish, to be honest.
Because one of the questions you get asked a lot as a stand-up comic is, what happens if you get heckled? I'm like, dude, I get heckled all the time, just walking down the street. It's on the way here tonight, I've got 3 Jesuses, 2 Gandalfs and a Chewbacca. So I'm used to it, frankly, as well.
I scratched my head once and somebody shouted out, is that part of the act? And it's all a bit downhill from there.
I did a joke once about a lad who'd gotten his 13-year-old lad who'd gotten his girlfriend pregnant, and then someone tried to correct us that he was 12 years old. And I was like, to be honest, I don't think that makes it any worse. It's just hecklers when it's not like they're not even being funny, or they're just being like drunk and like irritating.
Hey? Shithole? Who are you? The fucking designated dickhead? Fucking hell. Sleep now, fella, right? I'll do the joke, sleep it, alright?
I mean, if it's like a constructive heckle, like, you know, then it's something you can work with and you can get a good response from that. But if it's something rubbish, like, oh, you're shit, you know, get off the stage. It's like, well, just, you're a stage, you know what I mean? Just really childish. Inspiration comes from, you know, sort of, I'm not really a sort of observational comic, so I don't do sort of like, oh, look at the toaster, you know, and think, I'll write something about that.
At the moment, it's a lot of just sort of looking at quotes from philosophers or other people and then just sort of picking those apart. There's a philosopher in the 19th century called John Stuart Mill, who once quite famously said that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And he probably only said that because, to my knowledge, he's never actually been gang raped. So, but it can come from anywhere, just people walking into things, that kind of stuff, anything that's funny, really.
I don't know, really. I'm not sort of like a comedy train spotter where I go and watch an awful lot of things, or previously did a lot of things. My influence is just the people that I know and the things that I see. Not really any direct influences, I don't think. Not consciously, anyway. I don't think anyone's as shit as me that I've seen.
I would say you're a comedy train spotter, though. I mean, train spotters are usually quite boring. So,
yeah, I'm a boring man. I'm a boring man. I'm sort of the beige, bald rice of comedy.
You haven't seen Gary, that's fair enough.
No, I'm a pretty bland man. I have to go home and rethink my life. Anyway, next question.